Yes, Sifu, I so can visualize you doing that. And it just, even just thinking of that, really, really grounds me. And it reminds me of, you know, we kind of grew up in the era of Jack LaLanne, and my dad was way ahead of the curve, and he loved Jack LaLanne. So when I was 4 years old, I would hear my father in the living room in the dark doing exercises, stretching and lifting some hand weights. And he told me I would pad out in my little footy pajamas, and three brothers, two that are older, one that was 2 years younger, probably too young to do this. And he would invite all of us to exercise with him. And I remember this now, that he would say, anybody that wants to come and exercise with me in the morning, I'll be in the living room in the morning. And he would do this every day before he went into DC as a fully dressed 3-piece suit attorney. And he said I was the only one of his kids that would come. And I remember that fond time that I had with my dad, and how far ahead of the exercise movement that he was. He was not the 2-martini dad at night. He was the dad that exercised in the morning. And as soon as he got home from work, he was saying, who wants to do a sit-up contest? And so my routines definitely start like that. That was ingrained in me since I was 4 years old. Again, won the parent lottery, but we've got YouTube parents, and we've got we've got people that are out there that are, this message is not confined to Blair Road, where I grew up with one little father and no other fathers. Everyone out there has this. So yes, I have a yoga mat by my bed. My husband and I each have our yoga mat on either side of the bed. And we will literally roll out of bed and do the full, yes, yep. Mine just stays flat out on the floor, and I try to avoid it when I walk around. And our little Roomba robots that vacuum the house I have to grab it before the Roomba robot gets it. But we stretch, we go through a routine, and we talk about our workout plan for the day or for the week. Fortunately, I'm married to an elite athlete, and so who is 12 years younger than I am. So I've been with Mark 20 years, and we met running in a 10K road race. So for 20 years. So it's nice to have a partner, but you don't have to. So yeah, I start stretching, but I also, of course, being in the water and swimming is my happy place. It is just the place that when I drop down and streamline out, that I'm just I'm in an element that defines me.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I hope on the recording, which will be on YouTube momentarily, I hope that you take some of what you just said now. It might be in your book, but if it isn't, I hope you put that in a chapter of a new book or in an article that you're going to send into something. I'm daring you to say something more poetic and beautiful than what you just said. So we'll see if we can come up with more.
Okay, thank you.
So Kelly, I met Aaron Pearsall. Do you know Aaron Pearsall?
Yes, Aaron was just on our show on the Champions Mojo podcast.
Thank you.
I love Aaron. Yeah,
I would love for you to connect us. I met him. He gave me his email, but we didn't wind up connecting. I don't know how big an emailer he is, but I met him down at Newport Beach at the Wedge. You know about the Wedge, the big wave that it kicks up like 20, 30 feet out of nowhere. And my friend's son was a champion 17-year-old swimmer at the time, and a freestyler. And he knew Aaron. Aaron was his part-time coach, blah, blah, blah. And when I met Aaron on his lifeguard stand, I just had a 2-minute conversation with him, told him about the Aging Athlete book series. And I said, because I'm a 175 when I'm doing well. Right now, I'm even 178, which I'm really excited about. It's not easy for me to keep weight on. He's a 190 something person. So bigger bones, bigger joints and musculature, but he doesn't look like the giant sprinter who was, 220 pounds on the American team, who had some ailments afterwards. You know that gentleman I'm speaking of, the sprinter from 6 years ago? He was just a monster, 220. He swam the 50 meter. Anyway, I said, Aaron, I said, do you hit the weights? You know, what do you do? Because Aaron was in his, I would guess, right around 40 when I met him. And he said, no, he said, I do yoga and I swim and I recreate. You know, he doesn't do the weights. If he does weights, he said he'll use light dumbbells, not a lot of heavy stuff and squats and benches. So yoga, and it's so cool to hear that from someone. And he, at right around 40, was still swimming world-class times. I don't know if he wanted to do any more Olympics, but when he did some tournaments, he was still in the lead in you know, compared to the 20-year-old. So that was pretty impressive. Maybe share a little bit about yoga and balance and training for athletes at a competitive level and at an older level.
Yes, absolutely. And on Aaron, I'll be happy to connect you with Aaron. I think he would just, you guys are, you know, the same spirits. He's amazing and you're amazing. And I think you guys, I would be happy to connect you with Aaron. He's phenomenal. And I know one of the things that Aaron does besides yoga, and something that I left off that I do that is it's such a joy that anyone out there can do, is hanging a bar. Remember when we were children and we swung from the monkey bars? One of the ways that swimmers can swim into their 60s, 70s, 80s is to hang. Hanging is it realigns our shoulders. And so I do yoga at least 3 times a week. And if not at a full, you know, 1 hour yoga workout, I do yoga stretches all during the day. You know, just, okay, I'm been sitting at, even at, you know, on my recumbent air desk, I will get up and do a down dog, or, you know, a frog stretch, or, you know, all the different, and I love doing balance, you know, the tree pose, and balance is so huge. Yoga gives us balance. And as we get older, we know how important keeping our balance is, so we don't fall and we can, you know, be cat-like when we're moving around. So I do yoga, but the hanging, this is something, you know, that even though my husband is 12 years younger than I am, he was a Marine Corps officer and he carried 80-pound packs and guns, and he has a terrible back, just a lot of back pain unless he hangs. So hanging will help people's back. It will help remodel your shoulders. I have a